Shotgun wedding? What? No! Oh, please, like you're the marrying type, Max. Hey, I could be. What if I found the right girl? Or three. Exactly. Anyway, according to my card, I married her. So, shut up. Stay in character, Max. You were doing really well. You're really enjoying yourself, aren't you? You get into the sleuth stuff, don't you? Oh, yeah. I used to have all these pulp detective novels. Back to you. Why'd you do it? Was it the money? Hey, the money was just a nice perk. I don't think that makes me a bad person. I take it Mr. Body was against it. He wasn't exactly thrilled, but he didn't object. His daughter's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. So you didn't get along with Mr. Body? Maybe not at first, but he gave me a job at his company and we've been fine ever since. I'm not his favorite person or anything, but we're not sniping at each other either. So, where were you at 7 o'clock? Hillary asked me to make nice, so I don't leave the office until then every night. You can check with anyone in the office, they'll tell you. So, how are Hillary's finances these days? She's doing fine. Max looks away from me for a moment, watching the television screen. Okay, one last thing, Max. Can you take a look at this for me? I hand him the will. Max unfurls it, though he seems unfazed by the blood. Was this on him? Yes, it was. It doesn't look finished. You are his son-in-law. Do you know what he might have wanted to change? No, he didn't talk to me about his personal business. Max's eyes appear to get misty for a moment before he looks away from me. I can't believe he was finally coming around. I was never in the will, you know. Maybe he was finally going to include me. You think that's what was going on? Thanks, old man, thanks. Who was the beneficiary before now? I'm not sure, I'm sorry, can we talk later? The game's on. Alright, I suppose that's enough for now. Thank you for your cooperation, Max. No problem, Sleuth. Good luck on this case. It's a tricky one. He winks at me as I leave the room. Whew! As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. Oh yeah, I totally heard his bodyguard wanted out of his job, but couldn't get out of it from under Body's thumb. There's definitely some dirt involved there. Well, anyway, there's another room down. Only question now is where to go next. No, I don't want to gather my suspects until I've investigated everything. I've got to do this the completionist way. Let's go to the study. Time to visit the study. I think Isabella came in here. One of the classrooms has been converted for the evenings. Looks like there are people relaxing all over. Someone even put a few pipes on a coffee table between some of the chairs. They probably haven't been used, since I'm pretty sure this is a no-smoking building. Isabella is sitting on one of the chairs, idly leafing through a book. I don't know if she's reading it or not, actually. Hey, Isabella. Oh, there you are, hon. Finally came to see what I was up to? I've been looking forward to seeing you. So, have you discovered any clues? I may know some things you don't. The real question here is, how are you going to get me to tell them to you? Oh, how coy. Oh, I have ways of making you talk, Isabella. It's actually pretty fun playing the investigator. I always loved the femme fatale types in the old crime novellas I'd read. Isabella, for her part, leans far back in her chair, crossing her legs and steepling her fingers as she looks me over. Oh, do tell. I'm all ears. Well, I guess I could, interrogate you. Ho ho, does the little girl want to use a little force to come get what she wants? I do like a woman who knows what she wants. Isabella's teasing me again, but it does work well for a character like hers. I can't buckle now. That's right, Isabella. I do know what I want. I walk over to her chair, putting my hands on the armrests and leaning my face in close to hers. Ooh. And what I want is for you to tell me what you know. Everything you know. Isabella smiles, a sort of languid smile, as she looks into my eyes. Well, since you asked so nice. So what's your story here, Isabella? Well, you know, Mr. Body was my boss. We worked together for God's sake. I've been his secretary for 3 years now. Did you have any problems with your boss? Of course not. We got along famously. Everyone knows he was always hanging off my every word. And was there anything else going on between you two? I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? Well, come on, Isabella. It's the oldest story in the book, right? Beautiful secretary and the older, lecherous boss. So you do think I'm beautiful, eh? That's progress. I try not to blush. She's trying to throw me off the scent, which is proof that something is going on. I decide to try a different tactic. Of course I do, Isabella. You're pretty. How long did it take you to have him wrapped around your little finger? Oh, not long at all. Wait. Fine, yeah, we messed around a bit. It was nothing serious, just a little harmless fun. Ha! I knew it! And did his wife know about this harmless fun? Well, if it's harmless, she wouldn't really need to know about it, would she? I figured. So where were you around 7 o'clock? Don't remind me. That was before we got here, right? You asked why Chad didn't come? Well, just ask the patrons at my cafe. They'll tell you why he didn't come. We had a huge fight when he told me he had to go to bail someone out of jail. He left at 7 and I went home to prepare to come here with you. How far away is the cafe from here? I don't know, about 15 minutes? Okay, one more question. Take a look at this for me. I hand the will over to Isabella, watching her reaction carefully. She unfurls the paper with a bit of disgust at the blood. She seems angry for a moment, but it goes away quickly. He mentioned something about redoing his will. I don't think he knew which of his children he wanted to run his company when he finally kicked it. Roxanne was a smart girl. But Hillary, you know, Max's wife, was the eldest. Who was going to get it originally? I think Hillary, but he didn't really talk about it that much with me. Well, thank you for your time, Isabella. No problem, detective. Hope you figure out who did this and bring them to justice. Isabella winks at me and goes back to idly leafing through her book on her comfy chair. Well, there was clearly an affair. There was clearly an affair happening between her and Body, but that's not necessarily evidence that she did it. I'll have to investigate further. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of the other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. Oh yeah, I totally heard his bodyguard wanted out of his job, but couldn't get out from under Body's thumb. There's definitely some dirt involved there. Well, anyway, there's another room down. Only question now is where to go next. The only one left is the kitchen. I think it's time to visit the kitchen. Maybe I can catch up with Rakesh. I wander down the hall into what looks like a little break room. There's a refrigerator and a microwave in here. There's even one of those little electric grills plugged in. I see Rakesh applying peanut butter to some bread slices at the counter next to the refrigerator. Digging around inside the fridge, I see a girl I don't know. Let me know when you find the jelly, Roxanne. Yes, I'm looking. I don't know if they have any. How did you talk me into this anyway? Because I make an excellent sandwich. Hey, Rakesh. Ah, Anne, welcome. I will get more bread. What is a kitchen without snacks, Who's your new friend? This is Roxanne. Roxanne! Sorry, I can never resist that. Apparently she was staying here in the building to sort out some of her affairs. Oh, and what affairs would those be, Miss Roxanne? That unfortunate murder case in the Great Hall is my father. He called me here under some pretense of having something to tell me. It was apparently going to be something about his new lover. Honestly, if he weren't paying my way through college, I wouldn't have listened to anything that old bag had to say. He was quite well-to-do. And how did you fit into his plan, if you don't mind me asking, miss? Hopefully I didn't fit into them at all. He was a terrible person, a womanizer, and philanderer. You still took his money to attend school, however. Have you seen the interest rates on student loans? Sure, I did what I had to, but I hated that man. I hated him to his bones. I won't deny it. I've got nothing to hide. Roxanne slams a jar of jelly on the counter next to Rakesh and storms out of the room. Wow, Roxanne's really getting into character. Rakesh finishes making the sandwiches and hands me one. Well, Rakesh, what's your story? Did you know the man in there? Ah, yes, well, as to my story, I'm not sure if you ever saw me around the office. I was Mr. Body's bodyguard. He did not feel I was necessary when he was at his own office. Still, I saw you a time or two. He was your boss as well, eh? Did you two get along all right? Oh yes, he was a very strict boss. You didn't like him? Oh, that's not true at all. Well, maybe a little true. I was not fond of him, but one does not need to be fond of one's employer to remain employed, is that correct? I suppose that's true, but surely you could have found somewhere else to work. Mr. Bade was very persuasive. You don't sound like a loyal employee. Perish the thought, at any rate, I did not have anything to do with the terrible crime out here tonight, that is for certain. So where were you around 7 o'clock tonight? What time was that? An hour before we got here? I was just finishing up with an art class. I was doing a bit of life modeling. I didn't know you did that. Well, art is a bit of a side passion of mine. We both chuckle at that. Mr. Bade said that he wouldn't need me tonight, so I took the opportunity. Just one last thing, Rakesh. Can you take a look at this for me? I hand the will to Rakesh, who opens it up and makes a face at the blood all over it. He said something about needing to do something with his will. Apparently, Roxanne had been quite a bit on his mind lately when thinking about the fate of his company. She's a very smart girl, actually, not like her older sister. Okay, well thank you, Rakesh. Make sure to find me if you think of anything else. Most definitely. Thank you, Anne. I think there was definitely more to Rakesh's relationship with Mr. Bade than he's saying, but I'll have to figure it out as I go. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in the Murder Mystery. I hear a quick snippet of their conversation. That Ferrari belongs to his son-in-law, right? Yeah, it was weird that it was gone so early. Usually he's at the office around 7 or 7:30. Apparently someone left early to take care of something. Well, anyway, there's another room down. Only question is where to go next. I don't remember. It's like I said, it's been a while. I kind of want to ask Max about his wife. Is there anything new in the sitting room? I think I should head back to the sitting room for now. Luckily, Max is still here, sitting among the other players, not from Latin House. Though I don't think Max is actually watching the TV. Welcome back. Ooh. Anne is saying welcome back, Anne. That's actually supposed to be Max. Welcome back, Anne. Hello again. I think you might have left something out, mister. Let's hear it again. I'm so all over this case. Max, and I'm going to solve it. So out with it. Alright. It's not like I have anything to hide, cutie. Don't you cutie me. You're not going to distract me. Yeah. Look, Mr. Bade has 2 daughters. His older daughter, Hillary, married me. Some shotgun wedding? What? No. Oh, please. You're the marrying type, Max. Hey, I could be. What if I found the right girl? Or 3. Exactly. Anyway, according to my card, I married her, so shut up. Okay, wait. We already went through this. Alright. I forgot that we already talked about his wife. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Back. Skips. I hear a quick snip. As I return to the main hall, I pass by a couple of other guests in this murder mystery. I hear a quick snippet conversation. That Ferrari belongs to his son-in-law, right? Yeah, it was weird that it was gone so early. Usually he's at the office until 7 o'clock or 7:30. Apparently someone left early to take care of something. Well, anyway, there's another room down. Only question now is where to go next. Gather the suspects and make your accusation. Butler, gather the people. I think it's time we close this case. Very well, madam. The butler runs around, gathering up the other suspects in this little mystery. Tonight, someone in this room committed a heinous crime. Someone who thinks they've gotten away with it. Unfortunately for that person, I happen to show up. I've yet to meet a mystery I couldn't solve and a perp I couldn't finger. I feel like last time, Anne was ironically the murderer. So now that we are Anne, and we've already been told we're innocent, we're gonna see what goes here. Isabella snickers behind her hand. I try not to blush. This is really quite terrible. And that's why I brought you all here before the scene of the crime, because it's now quite obvious who the killer is. Who? Easy, Rakesh. Isabella did it. Lie to protect her. Rakesh did it. Rakesh did lie to protect him. Max did it. This I'm gonna do Max did it, lie to protect him. This time I'll do it. Lie to protect him. I want to see what'll happen. I take a look at Max as the people in the room wait for me. He gives me a smile and a wink. I take a deep breath. It's not difficult to see. An elaborate party, a bunch of invitations with pre-written messages, a convenient excuse that would seem to put them out of the house at the time of the murder. The murderer is clearly the biggest liar here at this party for liars. The one pulling the wool over our eyes from the very start. The butler. After all, can anyone corroborate where you were when you say you were out for supplies? You probably did leave, only you did it after killing Mr. Body. The butler already said he couldn't do it. I would have, pointed someone else, but... What? Well, I didn't do anything. Tell it to the cops, chump. The other players immediately swarm the butler, asking questions and accusing him. Max makes his way out of the crowd and stands next to me. You think it's me, don't you? Well... Oh, don't get me wrong, you're totally right. How'd you get me? Max is the murderer! I totally guessed, because last time Anne was the murderer. You didn't know about the new will. If you had, you never would have gotten after him. Some of your reactions sealed the deal. That's pretty flimsy. Oh, I could have gotten you to confess. It's a hard-boiled detective. I'm a hard-boiled detective, remember? Haha, that you are. Oh, I got it! And I got some relationship change with Max as well, so that's cool. Either way, it's nice to see that you got my back when the chips are down. I'm surprised I did it. I was looking forward to solving the case and being right. Hey, I know you were right, and I'll spread the word after this, if you want. Nah, it's enough that you know I figured you out. Let that be a lesson to you. Oh, I definitely remember this. That's cool. I'm glad I actually got it right this time. Finally, the butler frees himself from the crowd, dusting himself off. He looks at me. I'm sorry, Anne, but you are incorrect. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. I want to thank you all for coming out for the Alpha Theta Rho Fraternity's Murder Mystery Evening. If you'd like, please feel free to join us for a party proper at our house. That's really cool. I'm glad they did this. Everyone claps loudly for the butler, who takes a bow. People start heading out the door. Nobody else wanted to make an accusation? Nobody else wanted to guess who the killer was? Alright. Guess they weren't the main protagonist, huh? The Latin House roomies gather in the lot. I can't believe how much fun that was. Did you see me in there? Definitely. Clearly you need to channel some of that all the time, man. Oh yeah, you were definitely working it. She wasn't the only one. Well, hey, if you got it, flaunt it. Though I can't believe they made me the other woman for some skeezy old businessman. Well, if the shoe fits, watch it. Everyone laughs as Isabella threatens to bite Max, chasing him around the lot. That was a lot of fun, to pretend to be someone else for an evening. I suppose that is what Halloween is all about, yes? I suppose that's very true, Rakesh. Nice work. Well, now that I'm done with pretending to be a sexy office worker, I think it's time to pretend to be a drunken vampire who wants to go get some research material. Hear, hear. Are you really just going to pretend to be drunk? Everyone just stares at Rakesh for a moment before we all head off, laughing to the frat house. Aw, that was wonderful. I had a great time with that. 35. Okay. So we're back to 45. And I think we gain 15 every time we sleep. Is that right? I'm not sure. Maybe we only get 10. Minus 10. Yeah, I think we only get 15 each time. So here we get a... If that is true, here we get a minus 5. This is a wash. This is a minus 5. This is a wash. This is a minus 5. This is a wash. This is a wash. Okay. So we're going to lose 30. I'm sorry, we're going to lose another 15 at this point. Meanwhile, we're actually doing really well with our organized and rational. Yeah. And our grades are still really good. I think I can afford to have one more full week. Yeah, I think I can afford to have one more full week, and then next week I'll see if I can start taking more breaks. So let me just save. Let me save this. And let's go. New event. You know what? I think this is going to be a good week for a change. I'm actually getting out the door without running into something crazy delaying me. The last few weeks have been ridiculous. Everyone else has already gone to class, so I lock the door behind me as I head out. Or at least, I thought the others had gone off to class. It looks like Sally's coming back. She looks really nervous about something. Her eyes are darting all over and she's walking with a bit of a hunch. I hope she didn't hurt herself. I walk out the gate and give her a wave as I turn towards my class. Oh, Anne! Hey! Forgot a book! Okay, yeah, she's really terrible at hiding things. Sally runs past me and heads to the door without looking me in the eye. I can tell she's struggling to keep her jacket closed and get into her pockets all at the same time. I suppose. Oh, I know what this is. I think this is the situation that I had a big issue with. I suppose I could go over and help, but that just means getting tied up into whatever crazy scheme she's got going on today. I just don't know if it's worth it. Sure, why not? I let out a little sigh. I'm getting entirely too caught up with these people. I head back towards the door, reaching into my pockets to fish out my keys. Here, let me get you that. Can they get that for you, Sally? Oh, Anne, sorry, I thought you gone ahead. Yeah, could you please grab the door for me? Sally struggles with her jacket for a few moments, looking around shiftily. Everyone else is gone, right? It's Dominic's TA day, right? I think so. Why? What's... Before I can finish my sentence, I hear it. A small whimper, like a small dog whining. Is that what I think it is? Sally sighs and opens her jacket, revealing a tiny puppy. Oh my god, he's so cute! He is pretty adorable, isn't he? Yes, he is. Where'd you find him? He was just wandering the street down by the main avenue. What, did you ask around about him? Of course, I just can't go around stealing dogs. I didn't say that. Anyway, he was about to go wandering into traffic, so I scooped him up. I looked all over, but nobody claimed him. I don't see any dog tags or anything. Who would abandon a cute little guy like this? I don't know. It happens a lot around college towns like this, though. People get a pet and they have to move away for some reason, and they just abandon their poor animals. Sally looks like she's about to cry just thinking about it. Well, for now, let's get him set up inside. Come on. I unlock the door, step through, and take off my winter coat. You do know this is totally against the rules, though, right? Dominic will freak if he finds out. Well, I'm not telling if you're not. Yeah, but it's part of the rules. Well, I'm not going to leave a poor puppy out in the streets. You can count on me. Apparently, Anne makes up her mind without us having a choice. The game decides that Anne agrees with this, so I'm just going to go with it for now. Here, stay here and cover him up. I'll make sure the coast is clear. Thank you, Anne. I really appreciate your help. So does little Vegemite. Vegemite? Suddenly I hear rustling from the kitchen. I try to sneak a bit closer. That's when I see Dominic's hand pushing the door open. I've only got a moment to figure out what to do before he comes out here. Count to 35 before coming back in. I slam the door on Sally, shoving her back outside. Now what to do? Stumble into him. Ooh, there we go. I guess it's pretty easy to just fake an accident. That should distract him. While he's coming out of the kitchen, I rush over towards the door. Oh no, I forgot my lunch. I collide with him pretty hard. Guess I overdid it. Oh geez, Anne, are you okay? I think so. Oh, my shoulder kind of hurts. Really? Let me see. Yeah, a bit. Don't think it's anything too bad. We have to be sure. He places a hand on my shoulder and then pulls my arm out and starts rotating it. His hands are firm, but gentle as he feels the muscle. He actually looks really concerned. What about you? Are you okay? I'm fine. Does this hurt? As he's tending to me, the handle on the door swings slowly as I see Sally start sneaking in. It seems to be fine, but we should probably go to the first aid kit. No need to go over... Oh, hey Sally, did you forget something too? Yeah. Forgot a book, sorry. Is something wrong with your jacket? No, I'm fine. Ooh, I think I found the sore spot. Dominic returns his attention to me, searching for the spot and indicating. I think it's fine. Can you just, rub the spot for a few moments? Of course, Anne. I think we're both blushing, but it gives Sally the chance she needs. She smirks and winks at me as she heads up the stairs, mouthing, nice, before she leaves my view. I really hate lying to Dominic. Like, that's the thing about this, is like, I wish we had a choice, because I would not want Anne to lie to Dominic. That's something that I'm very much against. I'll have to ask her what that was about when I check on her later. In the meantime, I have to admit, Dominic actually does a good job of massaging my shoulder. Well, silver lining. Thanks, Dominic. I should get going to class. Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling okay, Anne. Thanks. I'm glad you're fine too, Dominic. He is more than fine. Okay. Classroom. Oh, one of my professors just emailed me. He wants to see me after class. Maybe he has an extra credit assignment. Oh, but I was supposed to meet one of my classmates to study in the library. Maybe I should go there first? But then I might miss Professor Task's meeting. I'm gonna play the event. I guess since I'm supposed to be studying for his class, I should probably go see what he wants. Yes, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. During class, I let my partner know I have to see the professor. Luckily, he sent her the same email. Afterwards, we head to his office. Professor, you wanted to see me? Ah, Anne, exactly on time. As expected of you. He gives me a smile of appreciation that lightens up his face. He has a very wise demeanor, I think. He really is the epitome of a college professor. So dignified and handsome. Thank you, Professor Task. Well, anyway, to the matter at hand. You both know I've been helping out the sociology department lately, right? Well, one of the other professors is running an experiment. She wanted me to give a few of my students a little questionnaire. You don't have to, but I'll give you a bit of extra credit for your trouble. I'll fill it out, Professor. I'll never catch up to Anne if I don't get a little extra. Oh, you're doing fine, Carmen. But yes, I'll fill one out, Professor. The professor looks pleased with both of us, handing us our papers. There are a few questions on the paper, mostly about my college life. I fill in most of it pretty easily. The last question gives me pause, though. Your fellow student has obtained the answers for the next test. They plan on using them, as do several others. They offer you the chance to use them as well. There is no chance for you to be caught using the answers. Do you use them on the test? No, absolutely not. Even if I knew I wasn't going to be caught, it doesn't matter. See, for me personally, it doesn't matter if nobody else knows I cheated, because I know I cheated. So the fact that I know I cheated is all the information I need to know that it's not a decision I'm going to make, because at the end of the day, I have to be able to look myself in the mirror. I have to be able to sleep, with myself at night. So yeah, that for me is like a no-brainer, total no-brainer for me. Of course I wouldn't. It doesn't, yeah, I won't be caught using the answers. So what? That's not the issue. The issue is I will know that I cheated. What was the, oh, sorry, there's no chance, do you use them on the test? No, answer no. I marked no and proudly had my paper in. Thank you, Anne. He looks over my paper with a bemused grin on his face. I appreciate your time. Now, I don't want to hold you two back from your studies any longer. I'm looking forward to your project this term. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Professor Task. Thanks for this opportunity. Of course, dear. Now run along, you two. I gather Carmen up and we head off to the library. You're so lucky, Anne. He likes you. Heh, no. He just appreciates good grades. You're doing fine, Carmen. We giggle and continue talking about him as we go on our way. Okay. So, heading to take a shower. Grades start raising. Power up. Okay. Or maybe we only get 10. Maybe we only get 10 each night. Thursday, new event. This makes no sense. Gah! I really don't know why I took this class. Trying to broaden my horizons? Please. Come on, Anne, you can get this. Everything all right in here? You sounded like you were frustrated in here, Anne. For a second, I thought it was Max's room. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was being that loud. This is just a complicated problem. I'll figure it out. Oh, do you need a hand? Yes, Dominic. Anytime you want to lend a hand, help. What are you calling me over for, D-bag? What? Nobody called you. Well then, what are you saying my name for? Hey, Anne. Oh, hey, Max. I was just talking to Dominic about my homework. Sounds boring. What are you working on? Oh, don't worry about it, guys. I'll figure it out. The boys look like they doubt me. I guess they might be helpful, but I won't learn anything if I don't puzzle through this stuff. I'm gonna play it. Dominic's here. Dominic and Max are here. I'm going to play the event. Well, alright, it might help to talk through this. Alright, let's work on it a bit.